Welcome to, I think it's technically episode 55, but we missed 52. So,
somewhere around there.
we're somewhere in between episode 55 and 53, somewhere in there. But welcome to the Fanatic Sports Podcast. Brief. We're gonna be brief. We just look, man. We've had a lot of guests. Shout out to Mind Triggers podcast that was on last night. Rain of Sunshine Network that was on last week. Got some more guests coming up next week. You know, a lot going on with the Fanatic Sports Podcast. So the Fanatic fam is definitely active. But I got to get my boys in. We got to have a little time with my boys.
Of course. I don't know when the last time I seen Mark on this thing in a minute, but this man looking extra fancy.
Oh yeah,
right
that's that Walton money.
Hey man, listen. When you got to mix business and then pleasure, sometimes you're in the same outfit when you do it. That's all.
Hey, look, listen.
I ain't mad at you. Man. Looking sharp, man. I think next time, man. I'm gonna have to come in with the, with a suit on and look extra professional.
Do it.
You ain't even got to explain nothing.
My background.
You ain't even got to say nothing, Mark. You a 5-star podcaster. That's what this is.
I appreciate it, Doc.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what success looks like.
To the team. So look, before we get started, I got to tell you one thing, Mark. You should be. I know you were planning to do the fantasy football league, and you had the time constraints made it so you couldn't, and that's probably for the best. Because I am cooking in this league, and I feel bad for Anthony.
He's not cooking. What is he talking about?
Who's number one in the league? Who's number one?
I'm number one.
No, you like number two.
I'm sorry, but there are four. Look, Marcus, I want to ask you. If you were tied for, it's a 3-way tie for first, or a 4-way tie for first, 5-way. Are you not number one?
Yeah, you're tied for number one. Is there not a point system to?
It is.
We won't talk about that.
Because usually when there's a tie, there's something. Points are for, points against, total points, something.
You got the most points in the league, Ant.
We won't talk about that.
Yeah. He played the fifth. But all right, so look, what you may not remember, Mark, was that. So we're gonna look. So first and foremost, just so everybody know, the Fanatic Sports Podcast Fantasy Football League is in full effect. And it's exciting, man. It's been a fun time through 4 weeks thus far. Week 5 starts tonight at 7. So we're excited about that. We're starting with tonight is the Rams and the 49ers tonight.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, at 7. So Mark, just get ready and bring your Walmart money with you. Because on the 4th, week 18, we are coming to Fayetteville for the Fanatic Sports Podcast Fan Festival. And the feature is the championship, right? So whoever's in the championship, whoever that might be, those two teams, we're gonna celebrate, man. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna have drinks. We're gonna have good food. We're excited about this. But the most important thing we're excited about, Mark, even more than the championship, is somebody got to lose.
Yeah.
Somebody got to lose, and this is what's going to happen. Tell them what that shirt say.
Man, I hate. Yeah, man. See, as you get up and you see that, I'm going to read it to you. I got booty blasted with the Fanatic Sports Fantasy League.
So somebody has to wear this. Will
somebody got to wear this.
See this? Like they got to wear it.
I'm glad you asked, Mark. I'm glad you asked.
Somebody's
got to wear that shirt. I don't know where. It might be somewhere. It might be the Chick-fil-A. It might be Sassy's. It might be one of our great partners. Somebody got to wear that shirt out in public. And when they ask, "Hey, what does your shirt say?" You got to say, "I got booty blasted in the Fanatic Sports Podcast Fantasy Football League." That's what that shirt says, and that's what they need to say the entire. I might even get the hat to go with it, Mark.
That's what you know. Yeah. I'm so glad I did not participate. If I had to wear that right there, it'd be some smoke in the city.
Look,
Hey, Mark, I'm not wearing that lightly. I'm not gonna wear that light.
I do feel bad. Look. I do feel bad for a few people in the league because I don't know how their bench looking right now. I suffered a little blow with Trey Benson going down. But I do have Woody Marks. I'm a little excited, so I get to put him in, see how that goes. But when I lost Trey Benson, that hurt. But as I said last time, look, this to see how smart you are, because you can draft a bunch of starters, but can you draft a bench?
Can you build a team?
Yeah.
Can you build a team is what we got to know. So again, once again, for everybody that's watching, definitely
I
shout
won't
out.
be wearing that shirt. I'll actually be taking pictures with the person that has that shirt on.
Y'all feeling real confident in week 4 right now. Week 5.
Oh, I'm confident. I'm very confident. I'm very confident in my team.
It's the reason why I'm number 1 in the standings, Marcus, because my team has scored more than everybody else's team. So
that's great. I'm proud of you, but you lost last week.
I lost a tough one. But hey, you can't win them all.
That's true. That is true.
So once again, we're coming to January 4th. We in town, Mark. So take that Sunday off.
I'm here. I'm here.
We're gonna have a good time.
I really hope you take that off, Mark. I definitely want to see you in that 2-piece suit.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see what the Walmart money look like.
That Walmart,
don't listen to this dude, man. Don't listen to this dude, bro. Don't listen to this dude. Don't do it, man. Don't listen to this.
I'm just saying, man. Man, come up and looking sharp, like, oh my God, like we over here in regular shirts and shit.
He's sharp. He might cut us.
This what happens when you have podcasts at 4:30 Central Time. That's all. That's all it is.
So
that is true.
This is what's going on. So this is the biggest reason I wanted us to get together. So unfortunately, for some people might see it unfortunate. I do. I met the man. I love the man. Sam Pittman was let go last week. One of my he was a really, really cool guy. Just a pleasure to get the opportunity to see him and talk with him and meet him and meet his family and meet the coaching staff. Lovely staff. But I'm going to tell you something, Mark. As much as I can say all these nice things about him, the problem is being nice don't win championships. As a matter of fact, I'd be willing to wager if you go and look at it from the meanest coaches that we all know the reputation for being like not nice or not pleasant people also happen to be the people with a lot of rings, from the Sabins to the Spurriers. Bobby Petrino, who didn't, he hadn't won a national championship, but is a very successful offensive coordinator and head coach for a long time. I don't think it's a coincidence that level of discipline, that level that they demand, it oozes through your whole program. So no, they're not necessarily nice. No, they're not necessarily just pleasant people to be around all the time, but you know what they are? They're successful, they're disciplined, they're winners. So simple things like understanding the time to reach and stretch for an extra yard, which, I mean, you already had the first down. Why do you need to fight for extra yards right here? Hold the ball and continue to drive to score. They couldn't stop us. 2 weeks straight, they couldn't stop us. Memphis couldn't stop us. Ole Miss couldn't stop us. In the first touche, which I can't understand. Which that's another thing that had me.
Look. I will say this: that has to go through a level of leadership from not just the top, but it comes down from your line too. Your guys on the field. If you don't have that level of commitment of understanding, hey man, maybe you should hold that ball a little tighter. Maybe you probably shouldn't have ran the ball. Maybe actually, you should have kicked a field goal against, Memphis. Like, just think about that. Maybe run the clock out. Be smart. Why are we trying to score with that much time left on the clock when they were basically destroying our secondary the entire game?
Yeah, you got to play the clock game at some point. So
at some point, it's like, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to prove?
So I'll give you this. So I talked to the girls from Sports Uncourt pretty regularly now, particularly Marissa, and so big Alabama fans. One of the things that she's been fussing her brain off about is that Kalen DeBoer. It's not that Kalen DeBoer is a bad coach, but when you come from the discipline of Nick Saban, the video's gone viral the last like probably 6 or 7 weeks where what was that? That was AJ McCarron and I forgot Barrett, what's his name? Barrett Jones, I believe it who they were busting back and forth in the national championship up 42-13, fighting like they was down 13-42. You know what I'm saying? But that level of discipline that Nick Saban instilled in, and what was interesting for me is that Nick Saban was nicer and said more things about his team after a close win against a big team or a loss than he was after a big win over Vanderbilt or whoever, right? That's where the program is falling, and so that's what Marissa and I talk a lot about. Is that it's not that it's necessarily falling per se, but the level of discipline is different, way different.
So I think when you talk about DeBoer and you talk about Arkansas, both things are missing.
Yeah,
coaches like Nick Saban who are tyrants on the sideline. Kirby Smart, tyrants on the sideline. It's a few things. It's the attention to detail, and it's the continuous focus, no matter what the scoreboard is. I tell people, I think I said last time I was on with you all, the difference between Nick Saban and the current Alabama team is they fall for the rat poison. When they're better than a team, they think that, we can just go out there, roll the football, and show up. Nick Saban did a great job of during the week in every press conference reiterating, we can't fall for the rat poison. We're not that good, and other teams not that bad. So I say that to turn it back to Arkansas. We all know offensive coordinators script the first 10, 15 plays. Arkansas starts hot every game because those are scripted plays.
Right.
What Arkansas is missing is the adjustment when the other team adjusts. Sam Pittman is not a tyrant. He's not a loud, boisterous coach. He's not a person that can redirect you during the game when things go bad. He's going to come talk to you. Now, when you got dogs that are self-motivated, then yeah, I don't need to go rah-rah.
Right.
But when you got teams that are undersized, no SEC speed, no SEC size, and are playing off of emotion, you need a coach that's either going to match that emotion that you need, show that emotion that you need so you can feed off of it, or you need a coach to get after your butt, kick it in high gear, and get you to readjust. Arkansas is missing that. You go out against Ole Miss, have a great first half, and score 7 points in the second half, lose the game. You go out against Memphis, have a dominant first half, score 3 points in the second half, and lose the game. Everybody wants to talk about T. Will, and don't get me wrong, T. Will deserves every bit of criticism. Are we gonna let Bobby slide though?
That's what I was about to say.
Okay, wait. Notre Dame, 0 points in the second half. 3 games, you scored 10 points. We gonna let Bobby slide?
Yeah.
How? Let's be real.
I feel like this whole thing was set up though, man. Like, when you look at it, like Bobby, we all knew. We said this before when Petrino was hired. As the offensive coordinator, we said it's going to be a time coming where Sam Pittman's going to be out the door. We had no faith 2 years ago. We just signed him to a 1-year deal. When you look at that and you understand when you understand it, which we all understand the dynamics set here in Arkansas, look, man, you can't make every booster happy, but some of these boosters need to come out pocket if you really want to get to some of these talented players. And yes, you guys talk about it all the time. We need talented players here from Arkansas to play for us.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
My problem is we don't have enough of the money to give these guys. And that's a problem. And me and Blocker were talking earlier, on the phone call, Mark, and he was talking about how some of these teams are spending 15 million, 10 million. We spending damn near 7.
Stay right there. I'm finna pull it up for you right now because I just remembered that I was supposed to load it up because you're absolutely correct.
But it's just like, when I look at that, man, Mark, I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, it had everything bit to do with Bobby Petrino. We go back to what you said. It has everything to do. Look, how are you an offensive coordinator, offensive guru, and you're only scoring this amount of points? I get you're tired. I get, but how are you that tired if you ain't been in the game and the defense has been out there the entire game?
Well, look
The
here.
second half of every game.
Let me say this. I've said it because I've experienced it. I've seen it. I watched it for 5 years. In college football specifically, and sometimes high school, but specifically college football, that first half, you are jacked up. You just went through all the pageantry of pregame, that first emotion. The crowd is the loudest. Everybody's hype. The music, the band, it's emotion. But when you go into halftime and you got to sit down for 30 minutes, drinking that Gatorade, eating them oranges, and come out that second half, it's about execution. And that's when you find out whose X's are better than whose O's. And what we see in Arkansas is Bobby Petrino hasn't made any adjustments to adjust to him. When teams started saying, okay, we're not going to just try to rush Tylen Green. We're going to play 2-gap, control the line of scrimmage, and just keep him from running outside the pocket. And what happens? Mr. I can't throw the ball shows up. Let's be real. Tylen Green is a lot of things. He's a competitor. He's an athlete. He's a great guy, a great kid. He's smart, intelligent. He's not a quarterback. He can't sit on the opposite hash and throw that 10, 15-yard out. He's not that guy. He's not going to be accurate from there. Bobby Petrino doesn't make adjustments, but everybody wants to be enamored with the final score of 38 points. Yeah, 38 points. 31 of them came in the first half. And it's just bad. But like you said, I tell people this, college football, the games are won, championships are won in the living room. This is not a schematic thing. The championships are won in the living room. If you don't have people on your staff that can go inside those living rooms and convince your mom, this dad, to entrust me with your kid for the next 4 years, you're not going to win. And now listen, I know, Blocker, you can reel me in because I don't want to get you in trouble here.
Ain't nobody going to get me in trouble.
If Bobby Petrino comes to your house, sits on your sofa and says, I'm going to teach your kid how to be a great man, and then you Google his name, you going to send your kid there?
Ooh, that's a good point.
You gonna send your kid there? When Bobby Petrino says, I want to make him into a great man, every coach say the same thing. I'm going to turn him into a man. He's going to be a great football player. He'll be an even better man. And then I Google you, and all these motorcycle memes with my old classmate shows up. This is what you going to send your kid there?
And you know what the wildest part about it is that you're not. I mean, you're absolutely correct, because all of the stuff on the internet, and it plays a part into it, right?
So I'm gonna stop you right there, Blocker, real quick. So, like, I get where you're coming from, Mark, because we live in a society where everything is internet, everything is social media, everything is on the phone, everything is recorded. But the one thing I do want to bring up, so people don't deserve second chances. We get it. We understand. We understand the issue. Okay, I get where you're coming from, but look at just give you a perfect example. Mike Vick, perfect example of second chances.
You wouldn't send your dog to Mike Vick either, though.
I would now.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't sending your dog. Hey, Vic, I'm out of town for 2 weeks. I need you to dog sit.
Yo,
Blocker, you reel me in when you need to, Blocker. You just reel me in. But we're going to keep it real today.
Look, I get where you coming from, and I'm not knocking it. Like, I'm really not. I'm not knocking what you're saying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have a 20-year-old. I get it. But my whole thing is, though, is like, look, man, you know, if the man comes in and keeps it real and tells me, look, I made mistakes when I was this guy's age. I made mistakes. Like, I'm more susceptible to understand that than someone's going to sit here and just bullshit a bullshitter.
I agree.
Like, and I'm pretty sure most of these moms, they only look at it. Yo, look, I'm going to tell you one thing. What was his name? Landry Jackson?
Reggie Jackson? Who?
Landry, or what was our defensive? It was Landry Jackson.
Landon Jackson.
Landon Jackson.
Yeah.
Right, so he come to the restaurant, man. He come in the restaurant. I'll say, I give you the perfect example of what discipline is, and then you see and hear stories. So he comes out with his mom and his family. There's like, I'm taking care of them. Their tab is like damn near $500, $600. right? His mom tells him, "Hey, I want you to be smart, so we're gonna split the bill. You're not using your NIL money." Some parents are smart, but then you
Yeah.
got some parents that are probably like, "Oh, well, if you ain't taking this money, we got issues. I don't care what it is." And this is the third. And I brought up a perfect example. I really don't want to say too much about it because I don't want to get somebody else in trouble
Okay.
for what I told you earlier. But there are times where NIL money is an issue, where you come in and if they don't want that amount of money, guess what? They trying to go somewhere else. They don't come in wanting academic or
Oh,
care
you
about
talking
money.
about? I can say I say the name. I don't know the kid from a can of paint, but and ain't nothing wrong with it. It's common knowledge. Everybody knows that Braylon Russell went in the portal and out of the portal and then back in the portal and then out of the portal again because he was trying to get a bidding war with Arkansas and he won. And Arkansas won the bidding war, thankfully.
And he switched representation because I know
Right.
the guy who was initially representing him, and then he switched representation. But to your point, though, you're right. People deserve second chances.
Sure.
But that's just one variable. The guy sitting in front of me rides Harley with blondes on the back of it while he's married, and he's only going to offer me $300,000, or he's going to offer me $2 million. But then here comes.
This is why I wanted to pull this up. This is what I wanted to get to.
Then here comes Kirby Smart, and you Google Kirby Smart, and then he comes with a bigger bag, and then he comes with the winning tradition, and then he comes with all the NFL players he's coached, and then he comes and talks to X's and O's with you.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask questions about. So if you look at the bottom, 6.5 million is Arkansas, right? If you look at the top, and this is just the SEC, right? But if you look at the top four, does it make sense that that's the top four teams in the league?
Well, Texas and Texas A&M are always going to be at the top just because they have that alumni money that's amazing,
right?
And they got oil money.
Right.
Let's be real. Alabama is there because they win, and those boosters pay for winners. LSU is there because they have won, and boosters pay for winners. Georgia's there because they win. Boosters pay for winners. So no, I'm not surprised of that. Tennessee's going to have money because Tennessee they're just big, like they're just a big school. Mm-hmm. But the problem is, and if you really want to get down to the nitty gritty, the question is, why is Arkansas that low? Let's be real. The Walmart family, the Waltons, Rob,
the Mark Winston family.
No, I'm not with them. Greg Penner, the son-in-law, who's now the chairman of Walmart board.
Oh, you know them personally. I hear you.
All those, the daughter Alice, they don't donate to sports like that. They donate to the arts. They give just as much money to Missouri and all these other schools in about. They're not into football. Reynolds put his name up on stuff. He's not really donating to football. You got Tyson, you got JB, you got the dealership guys, you got Lindsay and all those guys. That's cool. But why aren't they doing it? The culture is bad.
Yep.
The culture is not good. People are not bought into this administration, this athletic department. They are treating the athletic director. How you expecting to treat a brother?
Marcus, should I say Reverend Winston? Reverend Winston. I gotta ask you, man, how do you think Yurachek has done since he's taken over?
I think Yurachek has done fine. I think Yurachek has done a good job. But I'm gonna tell you, I view it a little bit different. And I think we've had these conversations before. When Yurachek went to the Touchdown Club and said, hey, this program is XYZ, he ain't tell a damn lie. He's 100% accurate. He was transparent. He was honest. This program is not a destination school. It's not built on contention year to year. This program is a middle of the road, average, some seasons above average program. People don't like to hear that because people like to be associated with winners. And when you're loud and boisterous and proud of your team and they're not winning, you feel this personal like attachment to them. But here's the thing. Huh?
At me next time. You described me personally.
The truth is, he didn't tell a lie.
Yeah,
the man brought in Calipari.
Yep.
Now, I'll take it back. Under his watch, Calipari was brought in.
Okay.
That was John Tyson. John Tyson went to the board and they said, hey, y'all cool if I make this move? And that deal was already made on the golf course. But under his watch, it's there. He brought in Sam Pittman, which was a bad hire to begin with, but hey, you brought it in. They've been.
Well, he was supposed to get Lane.
Kiffin?
Yeah.
I feel about that narrative the same way I feel about today's and yesterday's narrative of Deion Sanders coming. You might want Lane Kiffin. You might want Deion, but do they want you?
This Lane will come in.
But there were signs getting ready to be made for, welcome to Fayetteville, Lane Kiffin. There were signs being made, but then everything backed out. There were different things that happened in that deal where they basically, the school, where he's at, basically, his agent basically said, "Oh, I'm being, how can I say? Oh, they're offering more money." So Arkansas was like, "Nah, we're not doing it."
$9 million will do that for you.
Yep.
But Arkansas wouldn't pay Lane Kiffin $9 million
after wasn't that coming off of a buyout?
After a buyout, it's gonna be a little crazy because how much are we buying out Sam Pittman?
Well,
around $7.
So we're paying him set. So on that buyout, you got to look at it though. Is that how many? So that's flat out. But look at over the course of what they were going to give him if he had been successful. He's only on a 1-year contract. So you look at it, $7 million to get rid of an awful coach to hopefully get something a little different, like a John Gruden or maybe a Deion Sanders.
Hold on. We gotta stop this right now. I'm stopping this. This will not fly on my podcast.
I'll take John Gruden. I don't care. I'm taking John Gruden.
Good college football coach when he's never coached college football and he can barely do well in the pros. The one ring he got in Tampa Bay was because of Tony Dungy. I'm not man.
Don't forget Warren Moon. Don't forget Warren Moon on the defensive side. Sorry.
Wait. Let me say this. I agree with you, Blocker. He's not a sure thing because he hasn't proven. But like I told you, championships are won in the living room. When he goes to that living room, let's be real. When he goes to the living room in Florida, where he's coached in Tampa Bay, and that job's going to be open might be open tomorrow, but it'll be open at the end of the season. Which I don't think he comes to Arkansas. But when he goes in the living room and talks about the connections he has at the NFL, he's going to win the hearts of some people. And have you seen him talk? If you're a top 10 quarterback, what better person to go to than John Gruden? And when I get a top tier quarterback, guess who I get? I get top tier wide receivers. When you get that, you get top tier left tackles. When you get that, you get top tier running backs. It's just a domino effect, and it's all won in the living room, which I think he can do.
Okay.
Look. Hey, Mark. This is why I would want somebody like him. I really do. I see a lot of people, especially like Blocker, sit here and bash John Gruden. Look, good man made mistakes. We get it, emails, whatever. Emails, whatever. I don't care. Look, at the end of the day, I don't give a damn. Look, I don't care. If he's gonna bring more money to this damn town, to what it's going to be, be a top tier. You know how much recognition you bring in? You bring in ESPN, you bring in SEC Nation, you bring in money. He's going to get paid. That's my thing, but he's going to bring in that talent. So why not? And he's also said he would rather recruit locally. So think about that. So if he's going to recruit and be here in Arkansas, he's going to stay in Arkansas and recruit. Think about that. And again, as we said, Bryant is one of the best high school teams there is.
Number 6 in the country right now. But
I want you to understand that. There are guys that will probably decommit to play for John Gruden. Don't get it twisted.
But when he comes here, outside of Bryant, outside of maybe one or two others, he's gonna be disappointed. Versus if I'm at Gainesville, Florida, and I got the whole state of Florida to choose. I'm just saying, I don't think John Gruden will come to Arkansas unless it's the only SEC job available.
And so I'm gonna tell you what, it won't be. It won't be the only SEC job available because Vanderbilt's about to become open. And Florida.
So I wanted to speaking of something. So I want to ask y'all something. So why can't a school like SMU, who's got all that money down there and all those boosters now available to them, to be able to spend a bunch of money, why can't they be a powerhouse?
They're on the way.
Yeah, I was about to say they're a pretty good
I'm
team.
just saying. I'm just sitting here thinking about 3-4 years. You're probably looking at SMU being a powerhouse.
Oh, but then again, they did just lose. They did just lose. So the problem with any Texas team right now is gonna be the same, right? With this NIL money, everybody has the opportunity to spend that money, right? Think about SMU. What was SMU in the 80s? What happened to SMU in the 80s? You remember? The Pony Express? They got caught.
Yeah. They do NIL better than anybody.
They've been doing NIL.
They do NIL better than anybody. They did it so well that they got the death penalty for it. And let's be real, last year, when they went to those boosters and told them they needed to raise money, they raised $8 million in 30 days.
Fast. Shout out to my homegirl Giovanna Scroggins, who SMU alum.
I'm just saying. I just look at teams like that. When you look at teams like that, you look at all right. Take for instance, you look at Alabama. All right. So, what do they really have out there? Why we can sit here and say, oh, they have the money to put recruits, but are recruits really saying they want to go to Alabama to win when they realize that team now is going downwards?
Well, I mean, no recruits are going for tradition as much anymore. The lead thing is going to be the money. What Alabama has working for them. Have you been to an Alabama game in Alabama before or anywhere neutral site? Their fans are out of this world. So first time I saw Alabama post my playing career in person. Well, I saw them against the Hawks, but then I saw them play USC in Jerry's World and talking to the fans. That core fan wants to win more than anything. So their boosters give, and give. On top of, they had a coach that was winning. It's easy to get money when you win, but it takes a core group, a core coach to get that boat turned around. SMU is winning. Once Highland Park and everybody else starts to realize, oh, we got a chance to go to the country club and brag again, they're going to start giving, which is why it's going to be very hard to get Rhett Lashley out of that.
I wanted to, there's something I want to bring up to y'all. I think we really should start talking really about the uphill and downhill of Arkansas sports. We have to talk about the uphill and downhill effect, because we were great for years. Great for years on a lot of different things. The only thing that we're really great at, I'm gonna be honest, the only thing we're really great at is track and field. And I'm not even trying to toot anybody's horn, but that's just keeping it fucking real. We look at baseball, we always seem to hit that one hump, we can't do nothing. We get basketball. Basketball, don't be wrong. Basketball, we get basketball. We have all of these guys. Okay? We always get to the Sweet 16. We've been there. Last 4 or 5 years, Sweet 16, Elite 8. We can't get over that hump. Look, that transfer shit, let's just talk about it. Having this NIL ruins traditional sports or your traditional heritage. If you're I'm not from Arkansas. I just went to school here and I became a huge fan. I feel like you lose your heritage. And I'm not sitting here trying to say anything bad. I'm just saying, look, you lose your heritage when you have so many guys that don't want to play.
You sound like you're from the greatest era, from the greatest generation. And come on, man, if you save the get off my lawn speech, man, it's been pay to play in the SEC since 1979. I won't talk about anybody else on this panel who may or may not have gotten a few $100 handshakes in that time. but I can guarantee you that it's been a very long time of people giving money. We just talked about SMU getting the death penalty for paying players in 1985, 1988?
85.
85. So for 40 years, it's been NIL money. Notch black athletes of the 80s and 70s were going to SMU and Alabama and Pitt and all of them schools they were going to just for the tradition and the love of the game.
If you think Nick Saban's dynasty was based on just his pitch in the living room, ain't no way. But here's the problem: it's no coincidence that ever since paying players became legal, I don't think we got an SEC champion since, have we?
Nope.
I'm just saying, it just no coincidence. It's not coincidence that now you got to put that bag out in the open, and it ain't no more under the table stuff. And those who don't adjust, Dabo Swinney, You can't win a game now.
Look,
But
wait,
let me address your point though about the downfall of Arkansas football and keep me on a time blocker. Don't let me go too crazy.
Yeah, absolutely right.
There's a lot of things that go on, but let's be real. We don't have a pipeline state to choose from. We don't have enough in-state talent. We're not big enough. We're not good enough in-state to build off of that. We can't compete in Texas. You have a powerhouse in Oklahoma. You have 2 or 3 powerhouses in Tennessee. The only thing you can really lean on is Mississippi. They got 2 SEC schools there. Let's go to Kansas. Let's go to Missouri. Missouri's there. We don't have a pipeline. So, okay, so what's the problem then? Let's go back. Have you seen high school football in Arkansas? We got schools still running the wishbone. We got schools still running flex bones and T flex. The development of our players is lacking internally, and then we're not tradition enough to go and get the pipeline established. We don't recruit the great in-state players because we feel too entitled. Now we see that we can wait. They're going to want to be Razorbacks. That works for the people in Northwest Arkansas, but you got to go recruit Central Arkansas, East Arkansas, South Arkansas. Then let's talk about the other thing. When have we had a coach that can sit in front of you and motivate you to say, I believe in him? When was the last time? The last one we had was a car salesman. That was Houston Nut. That was me right there. Houston Nut. Got me. So you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the last time we had a coach that could sell something. You know what I mean? Yeah. What I'm saying is this. We don't go play Oklahoma because we scared. We don't go play Memphis because we scared. We don't go play Oklahoma State because we scared. Well, how do you figure you're going to establish a pipeline if those kids never see you? Before Texas A&M got in the league, after SWC, we weren't going to Texas to play Texas A&M. We was running because we were scared. We weren't going to play Texas. We were scared. How do you expect to establish pipelines? How many times has Arkansas said, Florida State, we want some of that. We want that smoke. How do you establish a pipeline? When Georgia is not on the thing, are you going to get Georgia Tech? How do you establish a pipeline if the kids never see you? That's historical. Even now, though, what are you doing to establish a footprint in those states? Well, they got you now. Now you're too far behind the 8 ball. And so you don't have the pipeline.
That's look, man. And this
hey,
is
shout out to Reverend Winston.
This is why we bring it on. After that, all I got left to say is open your Cash App and bless the man of God. Hey, man, look, he done changed my mind about John Gruden.
Look, this is Black Jesus right here, man. Look, it's Black Jesus of football right now. He giving the knowledge.
Yeah,
look, man, but hey, here's the thing, though, man. A lot of things that you said, a lot of points you just touched base on, man. You dotted your I's and crossed your T's on everything, man. Just think about it. Why, more people like you need to be heard when it comes to like you speaking out for these people and these kids, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like these kids need to be looked at, but it shouldn't be that hard to look at your in-state and try to recruit. Granted, I understand that too, but it shouldn't also be on the coach. The coach should be telling, hey, y'all need to be eating more, building, bodybuilding. Let's study your craft. You don't also like have to be like in the books playing football 90% of the time. We always say when you play in the sports, it's 90% mental. Everything else is physical.
It goes back to the discipline. This is a great wrap point for us, but it goes back to the discipline that we started with, which is once you win that living room, when you get that kid to your school, we set the precedent. You're not gonna. You got to go in and we're going to build ourselves physically. We're going to build ourselves mentally. We're going to build ourselves as men, emotionally, everything. Right? It all bends on that. And as much as I loved and enjoyed spending time with Pittman and that entire staff, from T. Will to even Bobby was pleasant. Can you imagine, Mark? Even Coach Patricio official visit, so it kind of makes sense, and he had to, but to be pleasant for him was I know that's a tough task for him. That might be harder than the second half adjustment.
Listen, traditionally, he has been an a-hole to his staff and players. When he was here back in the day, he was hard to deal with. Oh my God. when he went to the Falcons, Roddy White told me he couldn't stand it. He wouldn't spit on him if he was on fire.
Good God.
The man would walk through. My boy Jamal said he would walk through the locker room, literally not look left or right. The Falcons thing is kind of split down the middle when you walk to the coach's office.
Right.
He wouldn't look left or right, just straight ahead. Wouldn't say a word, wouldn't speak. Don't say how your daughter doing, cup of coffee, you ready? Nothing. But he's a perfectionist. And if you cool with that, cool, except for the second half. But yeah.
Well, he's a perfectionist, a first half perfectionist, y'all. Well, look, man, I gotta roll. I actually it's homecoming weekend for Eastern Central High School. Shout out to Eastern Central High School. So we got the homecoming parade, and then I think there's a pep rally. My son is in the band. He's not playing football, which is okay. He didn't like it. And every time I want to get mad about playing, I think about Lane Freewall. Remember him?
Lane Freewall. Huge.
Yeah, you ain't heard that name in forever. So, but and that's the point. I think about that a lot. God bless. I know Lane's actually a very successful salesperson. Last time I looked,
Lane had a great career at UCA though. When I transferred to UCA, he was doing his thing there.
Yeah, man. Good. Well, good. Glad to hear it because I know for a long time we could see it in practice how much he hated being a part of the team.
And being there.
But part of that also could be God bless my boy Ernie McGee. But sometimes our team was a bunch of misfits and it made it kind of hard. But that's another story for another day. But I got to get to this homecoming parade. But before we go, any shameless plugs? Anything before we go?
Hey, I just want to say shout out to the Knicks. I'm out.
Oh my God!
Hey man,
get him out of here.
Rhett Lashley is the best choice to be Arkansas's next coach. But hey, how about we get a coach who focuses on defense?
Oh my gosh! Don't say words. John Gruden, he don't focus on defense. Anyway, okay. Yeah, we need somebody that's gonna stop people from scoring. But man, well, I appreciate y'all jumping on with me for a little bit, man. Thank you to everybody that joined us. Yep, as I always say, tough times don't last. So,
hey, again,
Mike Brown.